Today we're working on lesson 24 apply. So I'm assuming you've opened the file and you've saved it like you're supposed to save it. And we'll start with step 3, which is typing your full name and today's date in the header. So go ahead and double click in the header and type your name and today's date. And then step 4 says insert page numbers flush right in the footer. So we should still be up here in the header and footer tools in the design tab, and if you'll click on the down number on page number, the down arrow, bottom of the page, and we want plain number 3, which puts it in the bottom right, and you can see we have page numbers on 1 and 2 and even page 3. So we can now close the header and footer. For this assignment, we want to have our non-printing characters displayed, and I'll show you why when we do the next step. Because it's step 5 and it says insert a continuous section break before these different headings. So dress for success is the first one. So if we click right before dress for success and we click layout and then breaks, and we're doing a continuous section break, when I do that I can't see anything even though I've done it. So here's an example of why we want to have our non-printing characters selected. So you can see right here there's the section break that I inserted. So we're going to keep those on throughout this assignment. The next part says interviewing skills for the job seeker. We're going to do the same thing. So click right over here, interviewing skills for the job seeker, and we are going to click layout, breaks, and continuous section breaks. And you can see we've got one there. And then the interview process. Click right before the interview process. Same thing, breaks, continuous. And then the last one is time management tips. So down here we're going to click time management tips. Before that, breaks and continuous. And you can see all of these section breaks that we've inserted. So step 6 says apply 2-column formatting to section 2, dress for success. So where we have dress for success here, we can just click anywhere in that, and what it's going to do is we're going to click columns and change this to 2, and what it does is it puts everything between those section breaks into 2 columns. And then apply left column formatting to section 4, the interview process. So click in this paragraph right under the interview process, and we're going to click columns and we're going to click left, and that gives a left column in that section. Step 7 says insert a column break in section 4 before the heading making the most of the job interview. So we're going to click right here before making the most of a job interview. We're going to click breaks and then a column break, and you can see that it's put those in 2 columns evenly now. Step 8 in the first paragraph under the heading dress for success. So we're going to click right here in this paragraph underneath dress for success, and we are going to click insert and then drop cap and then drop cap options, and it tells us that we want a drop cap using drop style customized to drop 5 lines. So we're going to click dropped. Right now lines to drop is 3. We're going to change that to 5. Click OK, and you'll see we have our drop cap in that paragraph. Step 9 says in the first paragraph under the heading interviewing skills, so we'll click over here on page 2 somewhere in that, and we want to a drop cap using the default drop style. So I'm going to click drop cap and dropped, and that's going to insert that drop cap in that section. Step 10, select the heading, the bottom line, and the paragraph following it. So we're going to click over here on page 1, and we're going to highlight the bottom line in this paragraph as well. We're going to click on design, and we're going to go over here to page borders. We don't want to click the page border. That's going to stay none, but we will click borders, and we are inserting a 1.5 point. So change this to 1.5 point. The color is orange accent 2, which orange accent 2 is here, and it's a shadow. So click shadow. Make sure you check that box that says shadow. That's the border, and then the shading, we'll click on shading, and the fill where it says no color, the fill color we want is ice blue background 2. So click that and then click OK. And you can see that we now have a box with a shadow border. Next step says select the heading Time Management Tips, the paragraph, and the 4 numbered items following it. So click right over here and we're going to highlight all of this. Same thing, page borders. We don't want anything on the page border, but click on borders. And this one is just a box, so click box. And olive green text 2 is the color. So olive green text 2 is right here. The size of this one is 2 1/4 point. So 2 1/4 point. And then color pattern. So click on shading. We aren't doing a fill color, but we're doing color pattern. So click the down arrow and we're selecting 20%, and the color is tan accent 5, which is this color right here, and then click OK. And you can now click away from it. You see that there's a box there. I'm going to now turn off our non-printing characters. This is what your document should look like. So it says to check the spelling and grammar, so I'm going to click right before opportunity knocks, click review. Spelling and grammar is complete, there are no errors. So yours should look like this. Save it, and that completes apply number 24.